Day 4 Watches and Wonders.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Don't know how
The PJ on tap
is flowing.
is pretty much the only thing that's keeping us going at this stage. Absolutely shattered. Another
not
big
wrong.
day. Had 5 brands to see, each with half a dozen to a dozen watches. A lot of info to take in. So we started off with JLC, followed by James went and saw IWC. I saw Rolex, and then we finish off the day with a session with Piaget and Chopard.
Do you know what? Potentially my favourite day of the fair so far.
There you go. Day 4. He's exhausted. He's
I'm
still loving
absolutely
it.
cooked. I was up till 2 o'clock last night editing last night's vlog because we went to Hans Zimmer last night. And
That's
let me
right.
I'll throw some of the footage over here because we went to Hans Zimmer with IWC. Chris Granger, her, and Hans Zimmer appeared to be like literally best mates, which was awesome. And we went and we saw Hans Zimmer, and he performed pieces from Gladiator, Dune, Pirates of the Caribbean, Lion King. It was nuts, wasn't it?
Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Honestly, his musical range, his kind of emotional range, I suppose, was just
Also,
sort
his
of
career, the range of the year, the range.
Yeah.
How long he's been doing it.
the length of his career.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
length is the word I was looking for.
He's come immediately off the back of another Oscar, second Academy Award that he's won, this time for June.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was very, very chummy with Chris Granger. Apologies, Chris.
Absolute weapon, Chris.
Absolute weapon. Chris is possibly the most charismatic man in Switzerland.
Do you know, apparently he just, like, for his presentation, he just off the cuff.
He is...
And like the Japanese, like the CEO of Grand Seiko was like reading on a teleprompter, as many would.
Yeah.
Apparently
I'd
cuff.
I'd need a teleprompter, but
We've gone way off.
We've gone way
on
off
the
topic.
tangent.
We had a plan, but anyway, to echo Gary Liu, Chris Granger is literally built different. Anyway, top 3 watches each of the day. Start us off, Jimmy Wand.
We saw JLC this morning, and if you're a fan of JLC, and I guess they're not over the top in any way, are they? They are in their technical watchmaking ability, but like as a brand, they're very subdued, and they just keep hitting the mark. And today we saw some incredible stuff.
Yep.
World timers, flying torbs, whatever. I really like this dazzling star. Amazing.
It was incredible.
An amazing function that essentially, randomized the rotor, spun, charged itself randomly, so for whatever movement you did, and then it got to a certain point and would release a shooting star on a subdial.
A shooting star on a subdial that would make its way over the dial. I don't know, it's sort of like why I love the Omega Snoopy Speedmaster. Such a fun complication, so whimsical,
playful.
It's
appeals to emotions.
Not too serious. Exactly, it's emotional, it's nostalgic. Who doesn't love seeing a shooting star when you're lying on a beach in the dark somewhere? I don't really do that very often.
But I will just say, just because of its attainability, its accessibility, comparative affordability, the Perpetual Calendar for me on steel, really nice piece, 27. Look, I would say it's a lot of watch because Perpetual Calendars are...
It's a shitload of watch.
Yeah, are notoriously expensive from, if you're getting into...
You got the time, day, date, month, year, moon phase.
But also, with the Polaris,
Yep.
which has its iconic outer ring and its outer bezel,
Yep.
you can also rotate the outer bezel. So effectively, you could go and dive with it
Yep.
and monitor how long you've been underwater as well.
How many years?
I didn't listen. How many is it?
No. How many years you've been underwater? You've got a Perpetual Calendar as a dive watch.
Okay, no, well, that's what I'm saying. I thought you were saying how long until I have to change the Perpetual Calendar.
No. Oh, well, that was
The function.
2114 or something? No, 2412.
That was Atmos.
That was the Atmos.
Which
No,
is
that was
crazy.
the flying top one. Anyway, we're getting
sorry, we've got
a little bit
sidetracked
mixed
again.
up. My favourite from JLC, speaking of the Atmos, was the Atmos Clock. They've just released a brand new complication for the Atmos Clock, which is effectively, it's just insane. So the Atmos Clock is a mechanism which uses changes in air temperature to power itself. So for every 2 degrees that the ambient temperature in the room changes, it charges for 2 days. Absolutely mind-blowing.
It's
stuff.
absolutely nuts.
It's absolutely nuts.
We've got a bit of B-roll. I'll play some.
The energy efficiency required to move, like just to move the hands of this watch, is almost mind-blowing. And we've got Mr.
Oh, there he is. How are you?
Rogero
how's
himself.
things?
How are you?
We're just filming.
How are you?
Yeah.
We just saw it all.
You should
Yeah.
have called because I wanted to come down.
Ah,
How was it?
I thought we were seeing you.
Yeah,
we're
very
getting
good.
a coffee tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
Have you been
We're
well?
just filming our daily vlog.
Daily vlog. Do you want to come in? Not at all. Rogero, come in. Tell us. We were just about to talk about Chopard.
Here, let's talk about
We were just about to talk about Chopard, our favourite pieces. We've just had, this is the beauty of being here in Geneva at Watches and Wonders, is the serendipity of the moment, isn't it?
I just don't have the champagne.
I know.
I saw you creeping up. I was like, oh no, but that's because I was filming this. But
I'm so sorry.
don't worry.
What did you like?
Well, we got
the
straight
most?
into it. Both of us, we both had
did.
highlights. The flying tourbillon was
Alpine
insane,
Eagle.
Alpine Eagle, but also
So
because
thin.
It's
and this-
great, and the open up dial.
Yeah.
and this is to
It's a
me. So
bigger-
what? We asked the question: why was the original as thick as it was? Was it a rotor thing? Because to me, that's my only issue with the first Alpine Eagle was I just wanted it a bit slimmer. So what?
Well, as you had to integrate the tourbillon, you need to give more space, and as you give it more space, you're able to move the components of the movement in a different way. So we had to actually redesign the component of the movement, so that you have the additional reduced thickness but the larger dial. So that
It's like
worked out pretty
how
well.
Bulgari is able to break so many records.
Let's not talk about it.
Let's not talk about Bulgari.
So
No.
will we see? Are we going to see a three-hander that comes in a slightly slimmer
We
case?
need to call the
Yeah, no, I know.
gentleman, Mr.
the
Schäufele.
big boss
He might be
himself.
able to answer the question.
And then Nick, what did you? Oh, the officer.
The officer case with green dial, yellow dial.
Stunning.
Oh my God, that is the colours of Australia. It's
Yeah,
Absolutely,
correct.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's what we
It's
said.
stunning.
Yeah.
My
The
favorite piece.
honeycomb
That's my favorite
Piaget
piece.
on the case back.
beautiful.
It played with the light in an unbelievable way.
When you open it up, you see the incredible
Right.
and
element
the
inside.
activation by the crown.
It's fantastic. The
So
monopush,
clever.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is actually my favorite piece that we launched in the LUC collection.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, we were both. We couldn't decide which of the two.
We like
And
them
also, the sapphire case.
Yeah, the high complication stuff. The high complication stuff, Chopard released no less than 3 different chiming mechanisms this year. 2 were significantly more complicated. One was a complication I haven't really seen particularly often.
The single strike.
The single strike.
Once an hour.
Isn't it clever?
It's almost
Activated.
like a grandfather clock almost. Once an hour, it just
And I
reminds
love
you.
that you could turn it off at night,
Absolutely.
so it's not
So the
chiming.
ideal is the actual.
Are you going to a
idea of-
meeting or whatever?
Exactly. If you want to know and keep it in the automatic heritage kind of watch collection, you've got a activated monopusher. It gives you 1 single strike on every hour. It's great how you can activate and deactivate it totally automatic. I think it's fantastic. I think that's a great addition to the trilogy.
Yeah,
And
100%.
then on the tourbillon with the mirror repeater, of course,
Mind-blowing
sapphire
stuff.
gong,
Yeah.
and an amazing sapphire case.
Yeah.
Tourbillon, sorry, not tourbillon, mirror repeater,
Yeah.
where we spent 190 hours to cut the case
Yeah.
and 80 hours to polish it.
Yeah, it's
just
absolutely wild.
amazing.
But also quite a svelte package for for a very mechanical watch.
Very complicated.
Very complicated. It was
Very complicated. You can see the complication.
Yeah,
And you can
correct.
see it all. There's no hiding.
It's very
Yeah.
simple
Yeah.
to understand the complication once you
Absolutely.
look at the movement.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And compared to, for example, we saw, as we were discussing earlier, JLC, they had a few striking watches, and they had their gongs that were fused to the sapphire crystal caseback, which
Yeah.
was effectively to kind of use the caseback as the amplifier. Chopard has done exactly the same thing, except across the entire case. The entire case is the amplifier.
Absolutely. And the gong is also made
The
of
gong is
crystal
sapphire as well.
So
So you
the
get
difference-
that glass on glass, sapphire on glass.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The pristine crystal sound.
Incredible.
Yeah.
The difference in the sound. So normally you hear a minute repeater, it's a very much more metallic sound. This was exactly like somebody trying to get everybody's attention
Sure.
in a dinner party to get a toast. You tap your crystal glass with a knife. It sounded exactly like
Which is
that.
the inspiration.
Which
that
we
drove
heard. I know that was
Mr. Schäufele idea to create
Yeah.
the sound of a minute repeater. Very recognizable, very clean, very crystal. So
yeah.
I'm very proud of that. Actually.
Yeah. I mean, it's genuinely remarkable.
It would
That
be great if he sees the show in Australia.
it would be fantastic.
Fingers
So
crossed.
if you're watching and you're interested, this is the man you need to speak
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Through them.
Through us,
them.
absolutely.
Direct message.
We got to
this
sell
guy.
5. Got to sell
We
5.
need to sell 5, yeah.
I'll be happy to do one. Guys, I gotta leave you because I do have a client. That was
You've
amazing.
got to
Yeah, no, great. We're going straight in. Anyway, we'll see you for
go.
coffee tomorrow.
Is this live?
No, we're
It's
just
not
filming
live,
it
it's
for
all
you.
good.
Yeah, don't worry.
Cut it
It's
out.
all good.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you very
No,
much.
thanks, you guys.
Awesome.
This is the beauty of being in Geneva, honestly. This is why I love it so much. We've cut a little bit ahead. We've gone to Chopard early.
But that's fine. We will go back and we'll talk about
IWC.
IWC. We saw the 5 new releases. Amazingly, they worked with, and IWC have made the most holistic, immersive experience at the fair, I think. I mean, obviously we saw Hans Zimmer last night, but the colours, the Woodland Chrono, which is a sort of an olive green,
Yep.
the jet black,
Yep.
the Seratanium, the Mojave, the Tahoe.
Yep.
Tahoe's obviously white, but
Yep.
for the other colours, they work with Pantone.
Yep.
Officially, they've registered the colours with Pantone and
Trademarked IWC.
trademarked, and we see. For me, look, I really did love the Woodland ceramic.
Yep.
44, I think it's 44 and a half, just a touch big for me.
And just briefly before we move on from the colour, the entire sort of theme of the concert last night with Hans Zimmer was the sound of colour. So the start of the concert, when he kind of moved on to his more famous pieces from Gladiator and whatnot, it composed a specific piece for IWC, which was 5 different movements, which represented the 5 different colours.
Yes.
Then combined them all together, and that was effectively the first piece of music that he created. So you're not only registering colours with Pantone themselves, you're able to create, making ceramic cases isn't easy, and changing pigments is also particularly difficult. So the fact that they're able to even execute cases, then they've also got this entire musical component with one of the greatest living composers.
I mean,
Full stop.
he's got to be one of the geniuses of
our
history.
time. Yeah.
Of history,
he
I would say.
completely, without blinking, compared himself to Mozart, and I didn't
I didn't
detect
I didn't-
a hint of arrogance. Nobody detected a hint of arrogance in him,
And
It's-
nobody doubted him either.
and
Nobody
doubted
went,
him.
he shouldn't be doing that.
No, it's absolutely an apt comparison. He's arguably one of the Mozarts of our generation. Anyway, IWC, we're back to the watches.
For me, really, just because on size-wise, and I used to have a 3717 chronograph, the IWC Pilot Chrono, in a 42. It belongs in 41 mil, and we've seen it this year. Seratanium.
Yep.
It's, I think, €13,000, probably maybe just north of 20. Really hot watch, all blacked out in the Seratanium.
Super beautiful matte dial.
Yeah, great.
Fantastic. While James was at IWC, I went and saw the good folks at Rolex behind us. And there are a few cool new releases. So, first one was the Air King.
Oh, you've got to tell us your favourite.
I'm not going to go through the entire collection.
We've seen
My
it. It's
favourite.
all over Instagram.
It's all over Instagram, you're right. My favourite was the Platinum Day-Date in 40 millimeters.
And do you know what? The fluted bezel gives it a presence that I don't think it's ever had. I think it
100%.
looked like a day-date before, and now you get this extra oomph.
Extra element, and that is apparent. Well, as I was learning today, the sort of metal, trying to work with platinum because of its hardness, because of its density, because of its weight is incredibly difficult. So they actually weren't technically able to produce a fluted bezel in the past, which is why it didn't exist.
Interesting.
They've developed the capacity to work with it. They've apparently one of the watch makers or the metal workers described it
Fabricator,
as trying to work with like clay. You need to effectively form it rather than cut it, just because of the way that the kind of structure is. And yeah, just the Roman numerals, the faceted Roman numerals, the icy blue dial. Any Rolex with an icy blue dial is in platinum. Little top tip there.
Yes, just so you know.
Just so you know. So if you ever see an icy blue Rolex, just think that is going to weigh a fucking bomb.
And cost a bomb.
And cost a bomb as well. So I think the platinum was, it was expensive. It was 130, 140 K. It's a real big boy's watch, but it's a really, really cool watch as well.
And finally, this came out of absolute left field for me today. But
too.
both of us, we went to Piaget and we saw the anti-plano, plano, just the ultra thin 2 mil.
Yep.
This thing, no shit, is just a bit thicker than the plastic card that we use to access our hotel rooms. It
Yep.
is wild.
Yeah.
And you strap it on your wrist. It's literally, it's paper thin.
Yeah.
It's 320 GSM stock paper thin. Like, it is
Yep.
crazy. And on this, literally I think he said it was 1.3 or 1.3 millimeter strap.
Yeah.
Strap it on. Crazy. They start at, that was a piece unique, which was actually themed around the day that the mechanism took its first.
The first component was manufactured.
On February 17, 2017 at 7:47. Oh, might have been that.
Yep.
Anyway,
I think it was something like that. Yeah.
absolutely stunning. It's a piece unique, but you can order one. They
You
do
can
5
order a
pieces a
different
year.
one. Yeah. So there's a bunch of different colors. You can sort of customize them. It's effectively, it's an extremely expensive watch. I think it's
450 euros starting.
450,000 euros. So it's about 600,000 or 700,000 Australian dollars. If you want to get one in Australia, you absolutely can. I was relatively good friends with somebody that used to work in the Piaget boutique. It's effectively a custom order. So you go in there, you explain that you're interested in the watch, and then the process starts of working with you to design the colors that you're interested in, the sort of, the overall aesthetic of the watch, so that it is very much your watch, which at that price point,
I love that.
At that price point, that's kind of what you want.
You can sort of get a piece unique.
Almost, yeah. So Piaget was fantastic, but not just the ultra thin. What else was good?
I can't believe it. I literally can't believe it. The Polar S
rubber.
on with a black horizontal. Do you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the old Aquaterra dial. Well, the Aquaterra dial, but the Aquaterra dial used to go vertical, but now, I guess it's horizontal now. But that's sort of a texture. Black, sort of like a flat, but not too flat black. And then on this black rubber strap, the case perfectly, not ultra thin,
less
but
than 8 millimeters thin. It was about 7.
Yeah, but a slimline case, and it was a stunner. I can't believe it.
And the bezel.
The
bezel.
Really hot, brushed horizontal to follow the lines on the dial.
Absolutely.
That thing is 17.3 and Aussie, and look, it's getting up there, but wow, what a watch.
It's getting up there, but for the pedigree of Piaget, for the slimline capacity of the case, compared to anything else that you're going to be getting on rubber, it's going to be a lot thicker. And just the delicacy of the design of the case as well, We had the flat, laterally brushed bezel, but around the bezel, perfectly articulate, little polished sections, little facets that just kind of bring the whole watch to life. They did a fantastic job. And just very, very quickly on Piaget, Limelight Gala, I absolutely love that. They have a malachite dial ring inside, full pave diamond. On the outside, they've got effectively graduated stones that start with very, very dark green emerald, move slowly to light green, lighter, all the way into diamonds, and then diamonds hook all the way around.
And the white gold bracelet was,
and the hand engraved white gold bracelet. Piaget, one of the best when it comes to that sort of metalworking. They've been doing it for the best part of 50 years.
Do you know what? I was just really impressed with Piaget, full stop.
Yep, 100%.
Josh Boson, I'm really sorry for doubting you.
Josh Boson was on the money. Jamie too. You loved it as well. Not bad.
Yeah, we're both convinced. You know what? Let's see some more Piagets on wrist, people.
Let's see some more Piaget. And in fact, I think, most largest surprise.
I'm empty. It's time to go.
You're empty. I'm not quite yet. We've got a dinner. James needs a nap. He's tired.
Cooked.
He had a big night last night. See you tomorrow.
Thanks everybody for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you tomorrow.
Absolutely.
All good.
Ciao.